This life is a fight. What are you focused on? There will be doubt. Pain, it's inevitable. But when that bell rings, will you be ready? What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Spit Bucket Podcast. This is episode 133. I am your host, JJ Solomon. We got a fun one for y'all today, man. We got a fun one. This one's been cooking. So before we move on to bringing on our guests and stuff, just quick reminders. Please like this video, leave the comments, hit the notification bell, all that fun stuff. If you're watching on X, leave a comment. Please retweet. If you're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all those good ones, just leave your boy a review. I sure would appreciate it. Leave me some 5 stars. All of that helps the channel tremendously, and it takes very little effort on y'all's end. All right, guys. Don't want to keep my guests waiting, man. Just excited about bringing him on. We got a big fight next week. He's on the Clarissa Shields undercard in Atlanta. Well, he's on the undercard, but he's going to be on the Zeus Network. So he's part of the same event, but he's headlining the Zeus Network. Undefeated, 16-0, 14 knockouts. You're talking about a 2-time National Golden Gloves champion, Olympics trial runner-up, one of the real rising stars in the light heavyweight division, guys. Without further ado, please help me welcome to the stage none other than Atif, Lord Pretty Calvo, Oberlton. How are you doing today, champ?
What's on?
Doing all right, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you joining me on a Thursday evening before fight week. I know things can get stressful and all that good stuff, but how's fight week? How's camp treating you, man? How you feeling?
It's going good. I'm feeling great. I'm actually just now getting out the gym, so
that's
I'm sorry. Yeah.
What's left? How's I mean, you good on the weight? I mean, what's good for the rest of till next Saturday? How's everything looking?
The weight is spectacular. It's nothing to really worry about. It's to the point now where my coach is pulling me back. He giving me more rest time because he can see I'm in shape and I want to go more and more and more and more. And then that's when he pulled me back. He like, when you know your fighter want to go more, he's like, that's it. We gonna leave it for fight night. So
that's good, man. You earned it.
And that's it.
Yeah. You're earning it. You don't have a coach trying to squeeze just a little bit more out of you. That's what's up, bro. Now look, this is gonna be, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is gonna be your 5th fight in almost 12 months, in the last 12 months, right? Is that accurate? How important is staying active? Is that very intentional?
Yes, I think it's very intentional since I've done this deal with Salida Promotions and Win Records, and this is exactly what I've been wanting to do, you know. Is stay very active, because the more I fight, the better I get. The more you do things, the better you get at things.
And that's the game plan with Salida, because Salida's look, I had Troy Isley on the other day, and he said, look, Salida got me and Salida got Atif. Like we're running this. How's that feel? And are you getting that treatment from Salida? Were they making you feel like you're one of our boys, you're the future? How's that feel?
Man, it felt awesome. Shout out to Troy Isley. That's my brother, man. I felt the same way you feel. We running it, man. We next up, man. Ain't nobody hand sharper than ours. And shout out to Clarissa. You know, she the queen of the operation for sure.
I got the welcome to Atlanta. I'm not quite the fashion designer the Lord Pretty Calvo is, but I made me one, because I'll be covering the fight next week, man. So it says welcome to Atlanta. So I'll have a couple shirts with me when I go out there next week.
Oh yeah, that's fire.
Appreciate
you. Gotta get a sign one for you.
Yeah, she told me, because I interviewed her earlier today on a recording. I'm gonna do the show tomorrow. I'm gonna drop it. She told me to bring her one. So that's most definitely the game plan. All the Spit Bucket member, the one of the tiers get these for free. So that's what's up. Hey, but look, let's get to Angulo, man. You've got Romer Angulo. The first thing that the critics are gonna say is, oh, he's 42. But look, let's put a pause on this. Angulo comes with experience. He's been in the ring with David Benavidez, Berlanga, Zurdo. He came off a knockout in March. what were your thoughts when you saw Angulo was your opponent for next week?
Nothing really. Just another guy that's in a way that they're gonna say, "Oh, this is my biggest test to date." Like they said, Carlos Gongoro was my biggest test to date. Every fight that I have from now on, they're gonna say this is the best test and the best test. And as far as I've known in my whole career, I haven't been that good at school, but when it come to boxing, I pass all the tests.
So when you see somebody like an Angulo, man, I mean, are you focused? You zoned in? Look, I seen Tom Yankelo, and we're going to talk about it. I seen your coach say, he doesn't have to worry about you. You're a real trainer's dream. So like what comes with that is I'm not overlooking my opponent. So I know you're not seeing this as this big giant test, but how do you prepare for him?
Just being a student and staying dialed in, and like at the end of the day, ain't nothing more important than this. This right here. Everything started with this. We wouldn't be on this interview if it wasn't for this. Everything started with these right here. So we're gonna finish it with that.
That's great, man. How do you see this fight playing out next week?
I'm victorious, but in a spectacular fashion. Doing all type of tricks and stuff in there that we work on, and me being and getting in my rhythm and controlling the distance, and if it come to that, beating him at his own game and beating him up some.
Are you feeling it's one thing to look real comfortable in sparring, and it's another thing to translate that to the ring, man. Do you notice that, with this being your fifth fight in 12 months, do you notice that comfort that you feeling in the sparring sessions is starting to translate to fight night? Is that even a goal? Do you want to feel that smoothness?
1,000%. It's funny you say that because that's exactly what I want to work on, and that's what I've been working on each fight. He's just been telling me all you got to do is relax. That's all you got to do is relax. And like Paul Spadafora say, the IBF lightweight champion when it was his
Salute,
time, one of my favorite fighters ever. Shout out to Big Bro.
salute to Paul Spadafora.
All you gotta do is slow the fuck down. And my Paul Spadafora, that's all I gotta do. And like that's what I was saying. There's so much stuff that I do in sparring that the world don't see. And it's like if these people seen it, they be like, oh my God. And that's what I want to bring out come next week. I want to bring out that oh my God factor.
You think you there? You think it's time to translate? You think we're gonna see it or
I think
start to
it
see it? Yeah,
I think it's time. Yeah, I think it's time.
that's what's
Got
up.
to.
All right, moving on, moving. Shout out. Let me hit these comments. Shout out to Tego, man. He says, salute, pretty Calvo. Man, you building a fucking enormous fan base. Just fight after fight after fight. I'm gonna talk about that here a little bit. So let's talk about that. We're gonna talk about it. But I want to get back to the Gongora fight. As a prospect, as you knocking on the door to contender and you keep building your name, you're not gonna find the recognizable names. The haters, the casuals on X are gonna say, "Oh, who is he fight?" But you got to use your eyeballs. Carlos Gongora was a legitimate eye test. Been in there with Mbelly, with Lester. Nobody has stopped him. How did that affect you, man? How did that feel? Did you expect a stoppage, knowing how resilient he was? What did that do for you, knowing that you're the first person to have stopped Carlos Gongora?
I expected it, and it just goes to show that I'm everything that I worked to be and who I set out to be. So it's like I expected it in the work and the game plan and listening to my coach.
So it was something that you noticed, and there was a game plan. So you did see something that allowed you to break him down.
Yeah, we was just gonna outbox him and do what we do and use our jab and control our range, and then not put so much heat on every shot, and that eventually we was gonna break him down. He was gonna give eventually, and then once we break him down, we was really gonna start piling it on.
Did it? Was there a moment where you just knew, all right, this one ain't going the distance?
Mm, nah, it just happens. It's like
Yeah.
I don't even try to think about it because when I don't, then I'll be worried about the knockout, and then it's just like I exert more energy. So I just go. I just go as I go.
Now, did it change how you look at yourself, man? Like, what do you see yourself? Because our jobs, there's no label that says prospect. There's no label that says contender. Do you feel like contender yet? Do you feel some type of way when somebody calls you prospect, especially coming off that Carlos Gongora fight?
Yeah, I don't feel no ways. I mean, they can call me whatever they want to call me and whatever they got to call me. until I'm world champion. So it doesn't matter.
I see there's a theme, man. I seen there's a theme with Lord Pretty Cabo. It don't matter what they say. I'm starting to get that vibe from you. It don't matter what they say. You don't give two shits. You don't. I'm gonna hit this question real quick, bro, because I like to follow my script, and sometimes I'll forget about the comments. But this is a good question. Ask him about his interaction with Ben Whitaker, and do you see that as a money mega fight in the future?
My interaction, I guess he's talking about the one at the fight. My interaction with Ben, we just shook hands. I congratulated him and his dad and him. He was like, "It was a while since I seen you, man. Keep doing your thing." And it was just a mutual respect thing. Like you keep doing your thing, I keep doing my thing, and in the future, of course, that's gonna be a mega fight. I mean, the two personalities who
Mm.
don't want to see the biggest personality of the UK and the biggest personality of the United States of America, and I believe the biggest personality in the world. So it's like, why not? It's gonna be a thing that has to happen. He has to continue to do his job, and so do I.
Dog, that personality thing is real. And these are conversations that are had. Like, this is not me just saying this because you're on here. Like, we had these talks. I was actually in Brooklyn waiting for an interview at the Xander fight, but you had a bunch of people waiting to interview you. But you could just see the Atif little aura just following you around, groups, reporters. So that's good stuff, man. And that
Yeah.
personality, like, you're starting to draw a crowd and attention, and that's what it's about. And then you're following it up with 14 out of 16 knockouts. But let's move right along. Shout out to the Divine Hook. She says, Pretty Cabo's confidence is one of the best. My fashion icon.
Oh my
And
god.
she knows her shit about fashion. I promise you. I promise
Oh
you.
my god.
One of the
Shout out to Divine Hook. She always showing love. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, she's great. One of the great photographers in this game too, man.
She got my vein popping out my forehead.
She'll get you, dog. You gotta be sure you're always on point.
Mm.
Moving on, man. We touched on this sooner or a little bit earlier, but I want to talk about your coach. Just a real brilliant mind of the game, Coach Tommy Ankello. Worked with Spatafor. You mentioned him earlier. Roy Jones. He's been in there with a lot of people. Um, he's just a real serious technical teacher. There's some Bernard Hopkins always says that there's trainers and then there's teachers. Talk about that, man. How has that been working with him these past few years?
He is exactly what, like you said, Bernard Hopkins was state a teacher and a trainer. He ain't training you to do much, but he teaching you. And
Mhm.
that's the biggest part. And that's all I ever needed was a teacher. I'm a machine. I can do the rest myself. And it's been brilliant. I just see boxing at a whole nother light. I feel like I'm light years ahead of the regular person. And if there's any question I need to ask about boxing, I feel like if I go to him, I'm most certainly going to get the answer. It's not one thing. It's not one time he told me to do something in the corner and I didn't trust in it. It's like right away it's automatic because like I seen the results and how it works. So the relationship that we have continues to grow each fight more and more. And I love that. I love that, more and more as we go on, we are locking in and becoming more on one accord because we got a lot of
Mhm.
great things to do in this sport. Just as though he's making me a great fighter, I'm also putting him out there and representing him as a great coach. And I want to be pound for pound the best fighter in the world. And he definitely wants to be the trainer of the world. So we're gonna make sure that happen. And like he always say, I'm gonna give him that trainer of the year award.
Is that man? A good one-two punch there. What's the? Are you able to identify like the biggest element he's added to your game? What's something he's brought that you can maybe one or two things that just right off the top of your head he's added to your game?
Relaxing is the biggest thing. Relaxing and slowing down the game, and positioning is very important. Stance, and lead arm. So those are just some of the main important things.
I know I touched on a little bit. I seen an interview with shout out to my boy Brandon, True School Sports. He actually interviewed Coach Tommy, and he called you a trainer's dream. Do you consider yourself a boxing nerd? Are you watching film? Are you studying all the old heads? Like, what's your boxing experience as a consumer of the sport?
I love old school boxing. And I officially got, I always call myself that, but I officially got that stamp on it from Tom, and he said, you a throwback fighter. So, and throwback boxing is my favorite boxing, you know. So, I'm definitely a student in the game. Ezra Charles, Sugar Ray Robinson, Larry Holmes, like Pernell Whitaker, James Toney. I'm in that type of bag. And I want to be mentioned with those fighters with all time great Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas
Mhm.
Hearns, Marvin Hagler, all of those guys, Roberto Duran, and they all do wonderful things. And it's just art. It's literally art.
Mhm. Facts, bro. Facts, facts, facts. That's good stuff, man. Hey, I want to take it back a little bit just because I just want to make sure to give her flowers. And I'm not sure the circumstances what led to your changes, but I just kind of want to touch on this. With Sharon Baker, major part of your development. What did she mean to your journey?
Oh man, she was a big part of my journey. She was there for me. She was like a, you know, like a grandmother figure in the sport of boxing. We had a close relationship. You know, I love her. I still love her to this day. So she
Hmm.
was very important. You know, long time partner of Brother Nazem of the Concrete Jungle. So
Hmm.
her knowledge and her experience is there. You know, I'll forever be, you know, thankful to have went on the journey with her.
Yeah, she comes from that Bowie Fisher and Brother Now's that school of Philadelphia boxing, man. Obviously you learned, and this is a corny question, what did you learn? I don't want to say what did you learn, but just what'd you pick up from her and that DNA that she's got from that Philly just legendary school of boxing.
Uh,
Just
how to
talk about it a
swim.
little bit. Mhm.
How to my apologies, but how to swim without getting wet, like Brother
There it
Nazim
is.
would say. Um I learned that everything ain't about going in there and just winning every sparring session. And it's about really going in there and learning. And then me actually going in there to learn instead of just to go in there and just kill. And I'm seeing how it translates into a fight and I'm able to use the things that I work on in the gym and it feels so comfortable. Certain times she knew when to let me know when to go ahead and relax instead of doing too much, you know, like all right, push and pull every day ain't a hard day and just like a system. It was a real good system of things and there was a lot of drills that we did that were very good.
That's great, man. And just to ask, was moving on from somebody like her who had been with you for so long, was that difficult?
Yeah, of course it was difficult because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, our feelings are involved, and especially
Mhm.
when you build a relationship with someone for years, but and to understand that there's no bad blood, you know, it's like I have to do what's best for my career, you know, and it's always will be that love there and you know vice versa, you know she would have to probably do it. She would need to do best for her career and see what she sees fit, but
Absolutely.
you know I also had a trainer that before her that I want to also give his flowers. He was like another father figure to me actually, Eugene Cyclone
Mm.
Hart Jr., the son of Cyclone Hart, and he had a lot to do with my development as a young man when it come to confidence and just boxing. And we took over in the amateurs and kicked a lot of tail together. And you know, he gave me a lot of life lessons about life. So, you know, he gets sometimes he don't get mentioned because he's no back there, but he's definitely a big foundation and a part of who I am today. And I appreciate that.
That's good stuff, man. I appreciate you bringing it up too, because everybody needs to be acknowledged, man. Everybody needs to be acknowledged when you're on your way up like that. Um, Now just switching gears a little bit, man. I want to talk a little bit about Lord Pretty Calvo. Look, I'm Mexican. I know Calvo, is referencing being bald, and I know you rock it extremely well with confidence. I want to talk about the nickname here in a little bit, but overall, just the entire package. A lot of people aren't born with that, so sometimes they are, but I see, just based on my experience, that when you have that type of confidence, you can say, man, this came from somewhere. Were you born with the confidence, or did something happen, coming up, where you just kind of got tired of it and said, no, this is me?
I think it always been inside of me, but maybe I didn't have what it took at the time to pull it out because you know it made me who I am. So no, I did not always have the confidence, but like you said, it became to a point where it's like all right, if they don't care, I have to care. I have to show myself that I love myself and nobody else, loves me. If nobody else think I'm handsome, I gotta think I'm handsome. And I just feel like I'm the shit. Excuse my language, but
No, you're fine.
that's just what it is. And like I'm unapologetic for that because the world would keep you down if you let it.
No, man, I dig that, and I really appreciate. I appreciate. Look, on this channel, man, I talk a lot of mental health. I talk a lot about youngsters, especially in this industry. And sometimes they need to hear that. With you being kind of, you being proud to rock the alopecia and being kind of an advocate for it. Um, do you feel the youngsters specifically looking up to you? What's that been like? Do you feel any type of responsibility? Like, what's that like to just make sure these kids feel whole and they're never doubting the kid that's in the mirror?
1000%. That's what goes in, like, that's exactly a big part of who I am, is like I want to be felt by the younger generation, and actually have them, be able to listen to somebody that ain't just, oh, get out of here, OG. You just saying all the corny, annoying.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I really want you to feel where I'm coming from. And if I could relate to you in some type of way that'll help you along with life, I think it mean a lot to me because, like, whether we like it or not, the youth is our future. So
Hmm.
these are going to be our future doctors for our children, or, our future presidents, or even if it ain't that, our future teachers, or whatever it might be, anything. Everybody plays a part in society, and I just want, the younger ones that's coming up under me, I want them to be felt, and I want them to know that, like, it's really cool to be yourself, and have self-validation. Like, it ain't corny because you doing the things that you like and you desire in your heart, and it's okay to like what you like, and you don't got to be like everybody else, for sure.
And bro, like we gotta address this, right? Like it's boxing. You're in Philly, bro. Like I don't know that it gets more like more damn rough around the edges than the Philly fight scene. But then you flip it a little bit and you see Lord Pretty Calvo calling yourself a pretty boy and that sort of deal. That's that tell me everything I need to know about the confidence and who gives a damn what people say. But have you taken any heat from the peers? Not so much the fans, but have you taken any heat from the peers saying, "Hey, what you call what's this pretty boy stuff? This is Philly." How have you responded to that? If so,
They ain't never said it to my face, but I could feel it. I could feel the energy. Like, when I come around,
yeah.
I feel the energy, and it's like I ain't like these guys, and they ain't like me. So I think it's kind of like but it's like, okay too. I don't want to hang with y'all neither. So it's definitely a felt energy, but it's like I don't want to kick it with a bunch of dudes anyway. I like women, bro.
Yeah. That's funny, man. And then just touch on the fashion because it'd be crazy to have an interview with you, especially a first interview with you, to not discuss the fashion. It's a real thing. It's dope, bro. Like check out your IG, check out the IGs and all that. It's a real part of your life. Where did the fashion start for you?
I say when I really got into fashion, I always, so my whole life I was like, I used to say when I was younger, I want to be different. I want to be, when people was getting a certain sneaker from the store, all right, I wanted this colorway that everybody ain't getting. And then it came to a point in my life, like, and it's like, be careful what you wish for. But this is who made me who I am. It's like, oh, I want to be different, different, different. And I kept saying it. And then God was like, I'm gonna give you something to be different about. Watch this. And then all my hair went. So now it's like I got to be different. So it was
How
like
old were you, by the way?
14 when I started to lose my hair. I was going into the ninth grade. I was going to ninth grade of high school when I started losing my hair. And it's like, dang, I was a chubby kid. So now I'm getting skinny. I'm like, I'm about to kill him. I'm about to get the girls. I'm skinny now. What? And then God said, "Give me that." And then I said, "No, can I have it, please?" And then I tried to hold on to it, and I got shots in my head to try to keep the hair, stimulate the hair follicle, a whole thing. Going to school and wearing my hat, and then being in the high school where you can't wear hats, and then people, as kids, we playing and you playing with girls, and then they try to snatch your hat, and I'm like, then I getting
Yeah.
all serious. Now I'm in the classroom sweating, nervous because I don't want nobody to see my head full of patches. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I went through that rough stage and then finally just like gotta get the body. But then it was like that time when it's like, all right, I got the body. But now that I got the body, it's like I can deal with this. just don't take my eyebrows from me, God. And then my eyebrows started going and going, and then I remember telling my grandmother, I'm like, if my eyebrows go, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, I
Mm,
don't want to live.
mm.
And my eyebrows went, and I'm still here. So it took a lot of
Man, that
strength.
dog. First, I appreciate you sharing that. That's something that hits close to home, and I know we're a little short on time, but I do want to say this because I've said it a million times to other guests when I'm by myself. But I'm a real believer that the what we feel as the worst times of our life, the biggest burdens, the biggest pain, sometimes, oftentimes, turns out to be the biggest blessings, bro. And I see you, dog, and I see your like I've said the aura and just the vibes and the confidence, man. And there's no doubt in my mind that was a huge blessing from you now looking back. Is that something you could maybe agree on?
1000%, because I don't think I'd be the person I am today or as hungry as I am when it comes to boxing or just in life in general. And maybe I wouldn't have been such a pure person because I always said if I had a head full of hair, I always wanted like a long hair, like a perm, like an old school pimp, like an old Max B, or I wanted a hair full of braids. And if I started off like that, I'd be the ultimate shit talker and probably would have had all the girls and had no substance. I wouldn't have been a real person. So I think those things that happened to me allowed me to be a real person.
I dig it, man. I dig it. Look, bro, I had a bunch of other boxing stuff to hit, but I'm sure you've been asked a million times. I've seen you all over the place this week, and I just it's about time to rest. I'm just gonna finish this with some quick hitters, and then we'll call it a night. But again, bro, thank you for opening up with that real talk, like that transparency and that vulnerability, because when people hear that, that's your biggest superpower. There's probably going to be a kid out there, dog, that hears that, and your testimony, your story could save them, bro. Can keep them from saying, "Oh, it's okay if I lose my eyebrows," or whatever the case. So, thank you for sharing that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, bro.
I hope so. Thank you. Thank you for letting me.
Yeah, for sure. Now, just real quick, just on just fun, just a little quick close. Toughest fight for you at 175. If you had to say that would be the toughest one for me, but I'm ready for it.
If he's still gonna be there, Benavides.
I dig it. Best fighter you've ever sparred.
Ooh. I give him Jerron Ennis.
That's a good one. Another good one. Best dressed boxer beside yourself.
Javante Davis.
That's a good one. All these questions are right. Worst dressed boxer.
Oh damn, you gonna do that?
You can pass. You can pass if you want. But do any come to mind?
Yes, but
Let's
no, I
hear.
don't want to do
All
that.
right, we'll pass it. And then one thing people completely misunderstand about Atif Lord Pretty Cowboy.
uh, I'm pretty much transparent with who I am, but my style is different. It's not gay.
It's not gay. You crazy, man.
No disrespect to the community. I love everybody, but nah, like I'm just different. I'm a pretty boy. I'm not on none of that.
No, man, it's old head boxing community, bro. Everybody's just gonna be like, "What's that? What's going? What is he wearing? Nah,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
keep
Exactly.
being you, bro. But look, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for you opening up. I'll be seeing you in a week. I'll be out there for fight week. Good luck to you. I hope what's left between here and there is a comfortable, solid preparation to get you ready for a great performance, man.
I appreciate you, man. Was a wonderful interview. This is one of my favorites I ever done, actually.
Oh, that means the world, man. Thank you so much. It's just being real, So thank you for just being real, and I appreciate that. So I'll talk to you soon.
All right, let's get some content in Atlanta too, if we
Oh,
can.
most definitely, brother. I think there's gonna be plenty of opportunity, man.
All right, for
I-
sure.
I'll talk soon. Take it easy.
All right.
That's Atif Oberlton, man. He's one of the 16-0 with 14 knockouts. That amateur pedigree, he's a real one. And he's here. He's getting pushed by promoters that are pushing. So he's gonna get the opportunities. Atlanta is gonna be a movie, guys. Uh, you got Lotto walking out with Clarissa, YG walking out with Tito Mercado, Ray J on the undercard. I don't know if y'all saw the media event last week. It was popping. So next week is going to be a movie. Let me hit the hey, appreciate you, the Divine Hook. Y'all go check out her work. From interviews to photography, great work. I appreciate it. And I didn't throw that up in time, but he knows what you mean. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, because I'm late. I've had a crazy busy week. It's back to school time and all that, but I haven't even had a chance to do the Cepeda Lamont Roach follow-up, and I haven't had a chance to discuss, oh man, the Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, just complete disappointment fiasco. Stay tuned for this quick break, and then we'll be right back to talk some boxing. All right, guys, quick shout out to our homies over at No Worries Home Sale. Look, if you have a house in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and you're behind on payments, you're stressing out about foreclosure, if you're tired of dealing with all the expensive repairs, or you just need to sell the house fast, these are the people to call. They buy houses as is all over Dallas-Fort Worth, which means you don't have to put any money into fixing the place up or deal with all of the normal real estate drama. And here's one thing I'll say for sure. This isn't some giant corporate company. It's my buddy Trevor and his team, and they're local, and they're helping people all over the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex through tough situations every single day. So if you need a fair cash offer in your house and you want to make things simpler, call or text 817-668-5788. Let them know the Spit Bucket sent you, or just visit noworrieshomesale.com. That's noworrieshomesale.com. Boom. Y'all holler at y'all homie Trevor over at No Worries Home Sale. He got a wonderful team. They'll get you taken care of quick. I trust him with my family. I've trusted him with my family. So y'all hit him up, man. Cash offers are always good. Get over the headaches, all that good stuff. Before we move on, just quick housekeeping. I didn't want to do too much housekeeping when I had Atif on the in the lobby, but obviously here's the QR code. It will take you to our memberships page. Do not forget, we got the Atlanta merch drop going for free for our Buckethead Pros. You get 2 entries. We're doing a drawing tomorrow for 2 tickets for Clarissa Shields, her fight. I'm actually I recorded Clarissa Shields, my interview with her today. I'll be dropping it tomorrow, and then right before we do the drawing. So y'all be sure to check it out. You can either sign up directly here on YouTube if you're on YouTube. If you're on X, the QR code will do it. The spitbucket.com will do it. And then obviously Apple, iHeartRadio, Podbean. Y'all check out the website. I'll be doing that in 24 hours. Literally, I'll be doing 24 hours the drawing, so somebody can join us. 2 tickets out in Atlanta for Clarissa Shields, K. Scott. I'll throw that back up there in case anybody scans. And then I cannot go without saying much appreciation to our partners over at KO Ticket. Y'all follow Jim Boone over at KO Tickets to get y'all fight tickets. He'll get you the best fights. We had people last minute for Cepeda Roach. He was getting you in the door for $75. He had VIP tables available. So y'all holler at Jim Boone at KO Tickets. I don't have his phone number here, but it's directly on his X. Everything, that logo normally has the phone number. I took it off. I need to put it back on. That's my bad. But yeah, y'all look up KO Tickets. You can shoot Jim a text message. If you don't feel like logging in and all that sort of fun stuff when you're buying tickets, just hit them up, man. And much thanks to Jim Boone for making our quarterly ticket giveaway possible, man. He's a real one in the game. Been doing this for a long time. All right, so moving on. Let me take a look at my notes. This show was actually supposed to be about a week ago, but just scheduling got all crazy. So I kind of went down the run sheet that I was going to talk about, and I was like, look, I can still talk about all of this. So I'm going to lead with last week's big news, and it's still big news this week, just because I think the boxing community as a whole is absolutely disgusted with what we're seeing from the Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, WBO, purse bid, the entire situation. Just obviously, hold on, let me get my media. I said, oh, no, I don't have any pictures to put up. If you've been under a rock, we all thought we were getting Devin Haney versus Keyshawn Davis. We all thought it was happening, right? You know, Devin Haney's established. He's there at his prime. Keyshawn, 15 fights, 15 wins. Yeah, 15-0, and no, whatever the hell. 15, 16 fights in. Huge opportunity, right? Huge opportunity for Keyshawn. And this is what he was asking for. let's just take it. Let's just pause a little bit, right? Before I get on my emotional rant. And again, y'all check that ticker out. Giving away 2 Clarissa Shields tickets. Y'all look it all up before I turn that off because it's kind of distracting. Look, Top Rank offered you $3 million, Keyshawn. Nope, I'm going to go back a little bit more. After Keyshawn Davis' last fight, when he was on the undercard with Shakur, I came on here and I gave him a massive salute. I said, Keyshawn, I'm a fan for life. I loved the way he responded. I loved how he was there for Shakur. I loved how he walked out to worship music, and it just looked like Keyshawn was on the right track. Like all of the stuff in the past had finally just kind of, finally the dust settled, and Keyshawn realized it's time to, let's go get what I've been working for my whole life. And I came out here and I was like, dude, I'm a Keyshawn fan for life. He's got my support. I love what he's doing. But, fast forward, he positions, he's not a 147-pound fighter. Yeah, he's a WBO champ, but he petitions to fight at 147, or he petitions to be Devin Haney's mandatory. And he gets it. He gets it. So we all are getting excited, right? We're getting excited because we're going to see Devin Haney defending against a man. There's a lot of people picking Keyshawn to win that fight. I'll get into that later. My pick is Devin, not taking a thing away from Keyshawn, but it's just timing and all that good stuff. Timing, not timing, but like where they're at in their careers timing. So let's see. I have some fun facts right here. Okay. So yeah, Top Rank offers him $3 million. It's a lot of money, right? That's your career payday. He turns it down. Let's go to purse bid. You're rolling the dice there, Keyshawn. You're rolling the dice. We know how unstable the boxing climate is right now. This is 2026, man. Some of our major, your promoter just did not have a TV deal not too long ago. And I'm just kind of in shock because of the way this played out. So you turn away the $3 million, go to purse bid, and sure enough, Top Rank wins a purse bid, $8.55 million. You knew the rules. 25% of that, you're at about $2.1 million. $2.1 million. You've never fought at 147 pounds. You're littered with controversy from blowing weight by over 4 pounds, canceling championship fights. I'm not going to be too hard on the Nahir Albright, the weed thing, because, it was weed. But still, the rules, dog. You know the rules. You know what's at stake. So you do deserve, there does need to be some accountability there. The backstage altercation with Albright. Never have fought at welterweight. Biggest payday of your career. Right? This is a no-brainer. After everything I just said, I'm still getting my shot at big, pretty solid money against a real name. Like, think about what happens if you win this fight, Keyshawn. Look how much you're in control. I'm a big Shakur Stevenson fan. I always have been since he's a kid, and I know how I have responsibilities in this media world, and I will never let fanhood seep into my job. And here's just a perfect example. I'm a big fan of Shakur Stevenson, and but I thought that I believe that the 25% offer several years back at 135 before Haney moved up, it wasn't a real offer, right? But Shakur said, no, let's go to purse bid. At that time, I thought that was a mistake for Shakur. Similar reasons. You had an opportunity to take a fight for a 25% cut and your chance at all the belts. Huge, huge. And it worked out for Shakur long run. He just signed a major deal with Zuffa, and he's getting paid out the ass, but his legacy is still in question from all the naysayers. I don't know how. I don't think that's that important to him anymore because he knows who he is. He knows the real boxing pundits, but the boxing public that includes also the casuals, a big important part of revenue and all that. He still hasn't really proven himself in their eyes. And he had an opportunity back then to at least call a bluff with Devin Haney, to at least call a bluff. At best, an opportunity. I think Shakur would have won that fight more convincingly at 135 than he would at 147. An opportunity, that's his weight. Devin Haney struggled there in terms of making the weight. I think he should have at least called the bluff. I thought that was a mistake at that time. And maybe you can argue that it still was. Who knows how that would have played out? Again, he's got the last laugh with the Zuffa situation. But anyway, fast forward to now. I see a similar situation with Key. You had a beautiful opportunity to take your career by the horns and make a career payday while you're at it with somebody that you've been saying you're confident that you can beat. I do not understand the decision. I heard Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix, and Mora said, look, I trust Jay Prince. Jay Prince has to have a trick up his sleeve. But man, what do you do from here? I mean, you go. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't think it's fear, right? Definitely not fear. I mean, obviously, so he said he wanted to net $5 million. After all the fees, after paying the trainers, after paying your crew, after taxes, after everything, he wanted to walk away with $5 million. And I get it. You know, $3 million after taxes is probably closer to 1.7 million, 1.8 million. Close to 2, probably. Yeah, between 1.7 to 2 million. Then you got to feed your team. You're still walking away with $1 million. It's still the biggest payday of your life. You're still changing the trajectory of your family's future. And you're still a young champ who, if this went the way you thought it was going to go, just knocked off Devin Haney. You're in the driver's seat. What have you done, Keyshawn? What have you done? A tremendous talent. A tremendous talent. Who's going to trust you, man? Oh, man. Oh, man. I just don't understand. Look, we had a quick interview with Tio at the Cepeda fight, and he did mention, like, you know, it's his decision, but you have to prove that you're worth more than that. You have to have an opportunity to prove it. This was the opportunity so you can then control the narrative down the road. You don't just get it. You don't just get it because your name is Keyshawn. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Moving right along. I'm going to hit on one more thing before we wrap up today. I wanted to talk a little bit about Mauricio Suleiman's comments. And pardon me, man, I don't have them up. I didn't have them up. They're on this channel. They're on my channel. They're shorts that are our content. It's the Spit Buckets content. So just go check it out. But the guy I'm going to talk Suleiman. I'm going to talk he's I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to talk Suleiman. The Benavidez thing, right? Losing the McKellen fight when that was all but a signed deal. It's almost like karma a little bit. I think if you're looking on the outside in and you don't have, and you're not playing the F Zuffa or F the old guard game, right? If you're just watching the war from the outside looking in, we literally were talking to Mauricio. I say we, but shout out to Chicolin Loves Boxing. I had him out there working his first assignment. Did a fantastic job. Follow him on all socials. Chicolin Loves Boxing, or Chicolin Talks Boxing. And Mauricio said, it's about to be a done deal. Benavidez is the mandatory, despite all the jumping through hoops we had to do to make sure it wasn't Opetaya, because Opetaya was the number one contender in the WBC, or the number one ranked. And he's adamant. Look, Benavidez petitioned for it. He was our light heavyweight champ. And we didn't break any rules. We didn't derail an Opataya fight for his opportunity for the WBC strap. We didn't have anything. We didn't do anything bad. We just snuck Benavidez on there for McCallan's fight, for the McCallan fight. And I get the move. Don't get me wrong. I get the move. You don't want Opataya, who is a Zupa representative, beating your WBC champ. I don't know if he would wear the belt, but you sure as hell don't want him having rights or access to the belt. I get the move. But who got the last laugh? Holy smokes. We saw McCallan and Jay Opataya sign a deal and Zuffa announced it officially. Zuffa announces it officially. And McCallan's saying he's expecting to fight for his WBC title. I don't know based on that conversation. I don't know based on the lawsuits I'm hearing from Don King and Benavidez and everybody who's going out after McCallan for, and off record, we were told that the fight was done for December. Done. Now, I heard later that McCallan hadn't signed, just Don King and the representatives, but everything was done almost. And so there's going to be lawsuits, man. This is going to get so messy. And again, could things have been done to avoid it? Absolutely. That's probably not what this episode is for. This is more just, look, say what you want about Zuffa. They're at least a disruptor in the sport. They're at least a disruptor. Like, moving on, let's talk about the Ryan Garcia Conor Benn fight. You know, Ryan Garcia had his opportunity. He beats Mario Barrios for the world title, and he beat him convincingly. And he's our WBC champ now, right? But how'd he get there? He lost to Rolly. Coming off a suspension against Haney, a PED suspension. Not just a PED suspension, a PED suspension where he absolutely embarrassed and shamed the entire sport of boxing for the entire fight buildup to him and Devin Haney. Complete embarrassment to the sport. Complete embarrassment to his promotion, his promoter. Complete embarrassment to his family. Himself. Blows past the weight. All right, if you're going to be that much overweight, I guess he looked good in the fight, but then we find out there's Osterin. I don't care if you did it on purpose or not. You're a superstar professional athlete. You need to be in charge of everything that goes into your system. Fast forward, he's given an opportunity. He's a world champ now. He beats Mario Barrios. Conor Benn. How do you forget the eggs? How do you forget the fact that he hasn't fought at 147 in 4 years? How do you forget how regular he looked against a Regis Prograis who was on his way out, who was injured, multiple injuries, who didn't want to fight that fight because of injury? And Conor Benn just looked, that's your number one contender? That's the mandatory for that prestigious belt? I don't know, Mauricio. I spent a lot of time bashing when you stripped Shakur Stevenson because you couldn't adjust your rules. I had something on Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. Oh, yeah. Conor Benn is getting this opportunity because he really wants to be the WBC champ. You know what I mean? I know a million bajillion people want to be the WBC champ, Mauricio. But you literally said on video to Sean Zattel last week that Conor Benn really wants to be our champion. So that's why he's getting his world title shot. You promised him that he would get an opportunity if he got his stuff together. That's noble of you, man. But this is a sport that the world is watching. You're one of the major names in the sport. Not just now, historically. And you're just allowing this to happen. Now, I got some follow-up on that because I'm not just going to sit here and bitch about shit that we can't do nothing about. But why not? What at this point, all right, not why not. At this point, This is the ugly truth I had to swallow. This is the ugly truth I had to just kind of accept as the new stuff is coming out, as boxing is slowly positioning itself to make big moves. And what I mean by that is all the promoters on DAZN. Now 2 shows under our belt on TNT, where I'm willing to bet we're getting close to 2 million viewers in the last two TNT shows. This young batch of fighters that I've been talking about that are coming out, that are offense first, that are exciting. Boots, Virgil, Benavidez, Bam Rodriguez, Abdullah Mason, Floyd Schofield. These guys that are offense first and they're exciting and they're not so concerned about taking a loss or getting hit or getting dropped. So when you factor all of that in, boxing has a lot of ingredients right now to blow this damn thing up. We're getting more eyeballs. We're able to work together more. Hell, even Zuffa is working with the old guard. So there's a lot of things that are going in a positive direction. So follow me here. I never thought I'd be saying this, but maybe we just have to not just accept the circus. Let's support it. Follow me here. Boxing was in such a bad place that we needed a lifeline. We needed a turkey. All right. And maybe these fights don't make sense. Maybe they're not the guys that deserve these fights the most. But one thing you can't argue is that they're names and they bring eyeballs. So maybe we can fill in the undercard, which at this point is a controversy. Well, I don't even know if we're going to get that undercard with Opataya and McKaylen. Maybe we can put some of our future names in on the undercards now that a lot of eyeballs are going to be watching these 2 guys who I don't believe deserve to be fighting for world titles. Again, that's just my opinion. There's no knock on Ryan, no knock on Connor, but I think there's other guys who deserve it more. Maybe we just deal with it because we were in such a bad place. A, we need revenue. B, we need eyeballs. The Golden Boy's getting paid for this. And Golden Boy needs money to pay their fighters and to continue growing their roster and to continue putting events together. So, Ryan's getting paid. Everybody's getting paid for this. There's going to be eyeballs on it. So my thought process is, okay, man, look, we've been getting good fights. We've been seeing some promise from boxing. We've been seeing the promoters working together. And if we have to deal with this just to line the pockets, just to come up with some capital, I guess, for a lack of a better word, just to come up with some savings so that we can start distributing this money and not just having the things in place like the DAZN deal and all that, but us actually being able to have the money to support that growth, the eyeballs, the visibility. DAZN is about to be a big player in the Northeast with the MSG network. All of those things are working. So maybe we just have to shut up and deal with this type of stuff. Like Ryan Garcia, Conor Ben, with all due respect, they're fun to talk to and they've committed their life to the sport and all those things. But the word champion to me means a lot more than just a popularity game. And that's the way I always feel. It's nothing disrespectful to whoever's in these circuses. And that's kind of my takeaway on that, man. Mauricio, nothing but praise for both guys. Like, he doesn't take a second to acknowledge. He sees himself as some knight in shining armor that saved 2 guys, not realizing what it's doing to his organization and what he's doing to his sport. All right. Roach Cepeda, I will talk about that briefly before we head out. But what a fight. It was a solid fight. It was a great performance from William Cepeda. And I'm going to say this. I don't like to say I told you so too much, but there's not too many channels who predicted Cepeda in a relatively easy fight to score. UD. That was my prediction. And it was just based on activity. A couple of things I mentioned that I think we saw. I don't think the ring rust is going to be a big problem because Cepeda's style isn't so rocket science. It's just go. Yes, he did add some elements. In our interview with Cepeda last week, shout out to Chicolene, Cepeda told him, you're going to see the same guy. but with some added elements, some added intelligence. And man, oh man, did we see it. Did we see the footwork? Lamont Roach said it himself after the fight. He said, I underestimated him. I thought it was going to be a one-trick pony. And Cepeda spent this entire year working on his craft. Him and Panda dissected that Shakur fight. They saw some areas of opportunity. And man, oh man, we saw it. Ring rust was not an issue. My prediction for that fight was Cepeda was going to have such a lead going into the later rounds of that fight that Lamont Roach was going to put himself in bad positions. And Cepeda, it was just going to be an easy fight to score. Lamont Roach had some moments. It's just the word buzzsaw. You can only do so much. You can only do so much. Lamont Roach had to be more active. There had to be some body work there to slow Cepeda down. And there was some, but just not enough. There had to have been a jab. You cannot get out jabbed by Cepeda. And he didn't. There was a lot of shelling up when he got hit. And you can't do that to somebody who throws that much. You can't have a target for that glove to land on because it just leads to the next punch. And they keep coming and they keep coming. You got to make somebody like William Cepeda miss. And I don't think Lamont Roach, I don't want to call it a bad game plan, dude, because it's just, you can't prepare for somebody like William Cepeda. I think there were moments of a good game plan, but I just don't think they anticipated what they saw. Shout out to William Cepeda in an incredible performance and a convincing performance, and it's right there, right up there with performance of the year. A lot of people saw the Tevin Farmer fight, the moments of danger where he got, where he got tested and checked against Tevin. They saw Shakur, and we thought that Lamont Roach, or I say we, I mean the boxing community, thought that Lamont Roach would be able to do something similar. But no, Cepeda went in, he perfected his craft, he got better, he improved, and we saw it. What's next for Cepeda? Man, you keep hearing Abdullah Mason. I know Abdullah Mason's a champ, but he's a young champ. And look, I'm as much as the next guy, I want to see champions fight champions. I want to see unifications, all that. But at the same time, I want to protect our commodities. I want to protect our assets. I want to make sure we give them an opportunity to develop. Yeah, let's give him some challenges. We saw him in there with Albert Bell. We saw him have to dig himself out of a hole. But I'm hoping top ranks, if that makes sense. Develop this kid. Develop Abdullah. There's a lot of names out there right now. I would prefer to see Cepeda against the winner of the WBA title. We got the Kid Austin Schofield versus the Lucas Batty fight. That there is a fight. That there is Kid Austin will end it with one shot. I believe Kid Austin's going to win that fight. Now, Batty has shown the ability to do the same. That's a fight I wouldn't mind seeing. Muratai is about to move up. That IBF strap will be open. So, Cepeda's in position to really, I think he's, now that Shakur's out kind of the sanctioning bodies picture, I think Cepeda, man, is that name. Now, look, you get a name like a Navarrete going up and have like a Mexican versus Mexican fight. I wouldn't mind seeing him against Oshaki Foster. That would be a great fight. But look, he's got options. He's got a strap. He's got work ethic and a great team around him. And I think the possibilities are endless for where Cepeda can go, man. Like the fans want to see that. The fans want to see nonstop, and salute to him. And salute to Lamont Roach too, dude. No knocking the game. Dude, it's absolutely like you got to factor in the mental exhaustion of going through what he's gone through. 2 draws. One of those against a guy who you were not supposed to beat. And hell, a lot of people thought Pitbull would get him out of there too. And having to walk away with 2 draws when that first one was just the heartbreak, the injustice that I will never stop talking about. So man, there's got to be a mental piece of there that we're maybe not seeing on the tail of the tape or in the interviews. There's got to be something deep in there that's just that he's dealing with, man. So salute to Lamont Roach. This is not an easy game, especially going through something like he's gone through, man. And big congratulations to the new WBC champion of the world, William El Camarón Cepeda. Guys, we're wrapping out. Just wrapping up. Just a quick reminder. Tomorrow, like I said, we've got the quote coming on, and then followed by following the interview, I will go straight into giving out the tickets to our bucket heads that are in the drawing. So all bucket heads are eligible for the drawing. If you get the first month membership, that bucket head that starts at $2 a month, you get your name in the bucket. If you do Buckethead Pro membership, you get two entries into the bucket, and you get the free merch. The merch I'm wearing, I got the Quote Lana shirt on right now, so don't forget about that. I love just to remind everybody that hold on, where to go? Here it is. Just to remind you, this is a real thing. If this is the first time you're watching, check this out. This is our first winner.
Shout out to Mike Ramirez, who is the first winner of the TSB quarterly Buckethead Award. Hey, let me see that deal you have made, bro. He's actually roaming around the damn arena, but he made this. Check it out. There was something, Mike Ramirez. Hey, show off the shirt too. Show off the shirt. This is what being an ultimate Buckethead does. Free merch, free ticket. The dude just wandering around the building as if he owns the place. Appreciate you, Mike. I really appreciate you, man.
Shout out to Mike Ramirez, our first winner of the TSB quarterly drawings, man, for fight tickets. We're doing our next one tomorrow. Again, Clarissa Shields, Kay Scott, August 15th, Atlanta, Georgia. It's not too late to get yourself a membership, get in this drawing, get yourself some free merch. Check out the website, thespitbucket.com. And yeah, let's get this thing rocking one more time. Big shout out to my guest tonight, Atif Oberlton, man. Really looking forward to your fight next week and what you're bringing to the sport and what you're going to bring to the light heavyweight division. And then, of course, tomorrow, 24 hours from now, I'll drop the interview I had with Clarissa the Quote Shields today, and then I'll follow that immediately with the drawing. One more time, big shout out to our sponsors. Thank you so much, our partners over at KO Tickets. Hit them up for the fight tickets. I can't make that any more clear. The hell we're going to all the other websites where you got to log in and remember your password. Just text message Jim Boone. I promise you. And then obviously our homies at No Worries Home Sale. Much thanks to you. And of course, much thanks to you guys, the Bucketheads. 133 episodes strong. We are moving right along, guys. We got more credentials, more fights, more interviews. Please do me a favor and just like this, share it with your friends. If you got a boxing friend, say, hey, I know you might never heard of these guys, but they're putting in work. I would really appreciate it. But guys, episode 133 coming to an end. Stay tuned tomorrow for episode 134 with Clarissa the Quote Shields, and we give away some tickets to Lucky Bucketheads. You guys have a great night. This life is a fight. What are you focused on? There will be doubt. Pain, it's inevitable. But when that bell rings, will you be ready?